Hello, this is an overview of the midterm essay. The midterm essay is where things get a little bit more exciting because we're also going to be talking about integrating research. First link I'm going to click on will be the midterm essay link. Midterm essay in this case, notice basically 4 to 6 pages preferred, MLA style, legible 12-point font, 1-inch margins. Again, we're still informing. It's a lot like essay 2, but in this case, we're adding a research element. So in this case, your options, you can extend one of your previous essays. You can use, for example, essay 2 and extend that further, but make sure to integrate new research into it, expand and develop your ideas. Option number 2 is to create an essay that identifies or defines a problem, addresses its cause and effects, proposes possible solutions without being argumentative, show the audience how this is a problem, why it matters. Our strategies in this case, use the tips shown in the slideshow lecture. The slideshow, in this case, if you click on that, that will take you to a slideshow on using credible research in our essays. It's quite an extensive slideshow. You have a link to it on this page here. You also have a link on the next page, which will give you a lecture on sites to avoid, sites to use when conducting credible research. For this class, you must use Washburn University Library site when conducting your research. Read the slideshow lecture so that you can see how to access that. There's also a brief slideshow on how to use the maybe library site. So, use the tips shown in the slideshow lecture. Avoid what we call blood pressure topics. If it's an issue that causes an emotional rant from you, please choose a different topic. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We all have those hot button issues that we can't discuss rationally. It just means if you choose something that's overly emotional from you, avoid it. Remember, we're still doing informative writing in this case. Avoid name calling, glittering generalities. Glittering generalities would be things like green energy, family values, things that sound really good, but ultimately have no meaning. Qualify all claims with examples and analysis, just like last time. We do not want to oversimplify the case. We do not want to be aggressive in our writing. We're being assertive. We're presenting information. Again, they say, some say. They are not valid examples. We're going to avoid plurals, still maintain objectivity. And then when you integrate evidence from your research, we're going to set the context for the quote, give a brief lead or summary of the source before quoting anything. Introduce the evidence with a signal phrase, something like according to or so-and-so notes. Cite the evidence properly within the paragraph and with a works cited citation at the end. And then respond to the evidence to show its purpose within your essay. Write an additional sentence tying it to the essay. Never end a paragraph with a citation. Always respond to your citations. More about citations, if you go to down here on the syllabus, the Purdue OWL MLA style. This gives you some basics on in-text citations, how to format a quote, and put together your works cited page. It also has a sample MLA research essay available for you, and this is a more detailed analysis link here on how you can properly integrate research into your essay. For your research, it must come from the Washburn University, maybe library, academic research databases. General Google searches are not allowed. They will not be accepted for credit. I strongly recommend using either Academic OneFile or EBSCO. The research should be cited in the essay and listed at the end on a works cited list. Again, there's a link to an MLA research essay. There's an annotated bibliography here that we'll talk about here in just a bit. It should be the same source used in your essay. If you're writing about a medical topic, you must use credible medical journals to support your analysis. And finally, be careful. Non-credible sources will damage the essay's credibility. They will not count for credit. As always, you'll need to create a cover page talking about your goals, the strongest parts, the weakest parts, what you learned about the writing process, and how you can take what you learned and apply it to make your next essay better and easier to write. 2 other links that are from our syllabus. Again, we have that credible research link. Another one that is going to be extremely useful for you is an incomplete list of non-credible sites. Please remember that this is a university level course, so we need to use university level research. This involves university level expectations. So as a general rule of thumb, especially if you're going into a medical field, avoid using any sort of site that has alternative or complementary in the title. That typically means that it's not backed by peer-reviewed science, should not be used in any scholarly essay. If alternative medicine or things like that are something that you use in your life, that's fine, but please be aware that at the university level, it's not considered scientific and it's not something that you can use to enhance your credibility in a scholarly essay. So notice that the list here covers things like WebMD, which is driven by pharmaceutical ads, unverified commenters, State of Science, again, complementary alternative medicine, The Blaze, anything that has an extreme right-wing bias, anything that has an extreme left-wing bias, those are right out the window. But a lot of these, and yeah, I know some of you are possibly looking at this and saying, Flat Earth Society, you would be surprised at the submissions that I sometimes get for essays. So anything that is pseudoscience, promotes conspiracy theories, extreme far right, extreme far left, do not use these in your essays. Dishonorable mention, do not cite from YouTube, which I realize is ironic because you're watching this video more than likely from YouTube. But that is a favorite site for conspiracy advocates to promote their theories on the things that they do not want you to know. Although if they didn't want you to know them, then why are they so available to publish on YouTube? That's weird. Anyway, we are going to use the Maybe Library Research databases. Maybe Library Research databases do not have any of these sites within them, so you should be fine. As for your annotated bibliography, we're going to use a four-step process. Find a source using the library research databases. Again, there's that link to the incomplete list of non-credible sites. Create an MLA citation for your source. Create a one-paragraph summary of your source, cite paraphrases, direct quotes, and then write a one-paragraph response to your source. So you can agree with it, disagree with it, analyze something that you found interesting about it, explain how the article was helping you shape the development of your essay. Here's our criteria for what makes a good annotated bibliography. Should be a substantial, sophisticated source from a research database or a credible organization, analysis, and then also your formatting. I've also included a sample annotated bibliography. Yours does not have to be this long, but this is the essential format. You have your works cited citation, a one-paragraph summary with citations if needed, and then a one-paragraph response. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns.